Lesser. 20 Deflections. The lesser narcissist is a creature of instinctive reactions and knee-jerk responses. In common with all of our kind, he or she must always avoid blame and swerve accountability. Denial, being the first line of the twin lines of the narcissistic defense, is often used instinctively by lesser narcissists to achieve this, with a simple, blunt rejection of the comment that you have made. The accusation, the allegation, in short, the threat to the narcissist's control, and if you persist, then you will invariably find yourself on the receiving end of heated fury, in order to beat you down both figuratively and, in many instances, literally, to prevent you from asking additional questions and apportioning blame towards that narcissist. The lesser narcissist will offer denial with little or no supporting evidence. It is not a topic for discussion any longer. Your challenge is not wanted, and the sooner it goes, the better. Alongside this, the lesser narcissist will also act and engage in the art of deflection. The lesser narcissist does not apply prior thought, calculation, or consideration before launching these phrases towards you, and these comments in a bid to deflect the nature of your questioning and accusing nature. They are an immediate response which is deployed instantaneously by their narcissism for the purposes of deflecting your attempt to make them accountable. Indeed, given, particularly with lower lesser and middle lesser, and to an extent with upper lesser type A and upper lesser type B, these responses often appear to be raised completely out of context, often manifest as non sequiturs, and invariably are even nonsensical. They are not, however, to the lesser. In the lesser's world, these instinctive responses which he or she has to come out with in order to deflect your questioning of them are entirely apt and pertinent. Why? Because they say so. That in itself is a deflection, because I say so. There is no expansion on the basis of the authority for the rejection of what you are saying. There is no elaboration on the position of the narcissist. They are simple, but the deflection is necessary to reject your threat to the narcissist's control. Remember, the lesser has no awareness of what he is doing. In his conscious mind, you are just an irritant that is asking questions because you're just downright awkward. He doesn't realize that what is actually going on is that there is a threat to his control and he must deal with it. His narcissism takes care of that for him. Your questioning threatens the control, and in effect, this manifests within the lesser as a sense of annoyance, irritation, unease, and discomfort, and the lesser issues these deflections from a waiting stockpile that the narcissism has ready to deploy them. They will use these phrases regularly with you and with other people. They lack, particularly with lower lesser and middle lesser, the higher function to think of a high caliber response. And indeed, where you have an upper lesser A or an upper lesser B of low cognitive function, they will behave similarly. Sometimes upper lesser A or upper lesser B, who are the upper lessers who can be more intelligent, do not even use high caliber responses out of laziness. They can't be bothered, in essence. Their narcissism just selects these simple deflections because they work. And because there is no facade that is maintained by any lesser narcissist, they don't really care that it might make them sound stupid. The point is, you've been put in your place. Your challenge has been rejected. These phrases, that I will turn to shortly, are utilised in a one-size-fits-all approach. They will be hurled back at you, often with venom attached, a standard response to what you have said to the lesser narcissist. Expect to hear them many times in the course of your dance with the lesser narcissist. He is not capable enough of conjuring up new ones, and relies on these old faithfuls to deflect the force of what you are trying to achieve. The deflection at this level surprisingly works, usually not because you accept what is being said, but rather you can't actually follow why they are making the comment. It doesn't follow on from what you're saying, and you can't believe what you're hearing, and it leads to confusion, but it stops you in your tracks. So does it really matter? Because the threat to the control has been dealt with. You, as a truth-seeking empath, like everything to make sense. You like things to follow an order and be logical, and therefore these stock responses will cause you to halt in your tracks as you try and figure out either what is actually meant by them, or if you do understand the thrust of the comment, how on earth are they applicable to what the discussion is about? You will often find yourself going, "Pardon? What? Sorry?" Not because you can't hear, but what you have just heard, issued by the lesser narcissist, just doesn't make any sense. This is the beauty of these deflecting comments for the lesser narcissists. They cannot think up clever or articulate responses because of reduced cognitive function or laziness. But they don't need to, because they are just as effective at stopping you. They may not always result in your behaviour being questioned, as is more the hallmark of the deflecting comments of a mid-range or greater narcissist, which then takes the conversation of discussion in a completely different direction. Indeed, tending to focus upon your failings. These comments, however, fulfill the aim of stopping the discussion going in the direction it was, and, rather than necessarily veering off at an improbable tangent into the realms of confusion and bewilderment, but just crashing and burning straight away. That does not matter to the lesser narcissist, as long as the attack, the criticism, the questioning halts, and his or her accountability and thus control remains unaffected. All is well. So long as your threat to control has been dispensed with, and that you are providing fuel to the narcissist, there is no issue. The comment need not be magnificent or well constructed. Here are 20 stock deflecting comments that are used by lesser narcissists. They are used by lower lesser, middle lesser, upper lesser type A, and upper lesser type B. Occasionally, they may even creep into usage by some lower mid-range, because the lower mid-range is an amalgam of lesser behaviours and mid-range, and therefore the lesser element of him may bleed in with some of these stock deflections. Here are the 20. Number 1, you are nothing special yourself, you know. Number 2, why do you have to use dictionary words with me? 3, I'm not stupid, you know. Why do you have to make me out to be stupid? 4, I don't care what other people do. They are idiots for thinking that way. 5, you've been reading too many books. 6, you think you are so clever, don't you? 7, why isn't my dinner ready? 8, been listening to her again, have we? I can always tell when you two have been talking. 9, can a man not get any peace in his own home? 10, you sound like your mother. 11, I'm going out. 12, why aren't you ready? 13, you should know your place. 14, you talk too much. 15, you never listen to me properly. 16, Never mind me. What have you been up to? 17. I know what you've done. 18. You can't judge me. 19. Fancy words don't make you right, you know. 20. Since when did this house become a courtroom? Sound familiar?